Hello and welcome to All Around the Board. I'm Darius and today we're going to be taking a look at Clank. I've been really excited about doing this video. I wanted to do everything I have for Clank, but then I thought, hold on, slow up. Not everybody knows what Clank is. Just because you love it so much, Darius, that not everybody knows it. Yeah, I realise that. Okay, I presume that everybody's played it because it's such a great game. But enough said. In today's video, I will be showing you what's inside the box, how to play the game, and then at the end I'll be giving my final thoughts and some extra information in there. So keep watching all the way to the end because I'll be giving some final thoughts and telling you guys pretty much, yes, you should buy it. Wait, no, I need you to watch to the end of the video. Just ignore me. Before we show you exactly how the game works and how it's laid out, I thought I'd show you what's in the box of Clank. So we've had this game for many years and our box is looking a bit tired, but the inside is still in pretty good condition. So we have the rule book, which you'd hope you'd get with any game really, to learn the game, of course. Here we have our double-sided board, so if I can just unfold that for you to see, you'll see this is one side. Right, so we've got the blue side, and we have the red side. These are just how difficult the game is. So this is the harder side. You've got a lot more monsters in the depths. You've got a lot more paths, a lot more to get through, which will generally be a longer game than the easy side. You'll notice there's a lot less spaces on this side. But both sides are very good. Both have their own sort of variant, so that's good to have some variables there. Okay, what do we got in here? So obviously we have a ton of cards. It is a deck building game nonetheless. So these are the market cards that I've got here. These have got cards that you can buy, or they've got monsters that you can attack throughout the game, and they give some unique abilities and make your deck unique to other players. You've got your starter cards here, so each player will start with the same 10 cards, and for the first couple of turns you'll be doing the same thing, but you've got a mixture of burgles, some movement, some stumbles in there, just general starting cards. In here you've got the goblin, so this is infinite. It's double-sided because it can never be defeated and got rid of. They're infinite in number, so you can keep attacking these to get money throughout the game. And then in here you've got all the mercenaries, all the explorers, and all the secret tomes. These are essentially cards that you buy if there's nothing else that you want from the market. Then we have the rage counter. So this is the dragon marker, which tracks basically how pissed off the dragon is. So I love that we've got a dragon meeple in there. You've got 4 player colours worth of stuff in here. So you can see we've got blue, yellow, green and red there available with all the cubes. And there are some meeples in there you'll see in the playthrough. We've got 1 cloth bag, which will be used for the dragon attacks and to put all your noise in this bag. And then you've got a ton of money, some black cubes to represent the dragon, and we've got some other tokens here, but they're boring, you don't want to see that, you want to see the game set up. So this is the section of the video where I'm going to show you how Clank works. So you'll notice I have it fully set up here. I'll quickly explain what everything is, and then we can get through this sort of a playthrough, but not really, it will just be kind of how the game works. So up here we have our 4 meeples of the 4 different player colours. We've set out the board so there are some tokens, they're mystery tokens, they're minor secrets and major secrets. We've got some artefacts dotted around the board as well, and we're playing it on the easy side. Also to note, there are some monkey temple tokens here as well. Over to the right here we have our generic cards. So those yellow cards at the top are ones that you can buy at any time, no matter what is in the market, and they're all the same. There's also the infinite goblins that we showed you in the unboxing. Then over here you have 6 cards that you deal out. Now you must make sure that none of them have a dragon symbol on. Now you don't know what the dragon symbol is because it hasn't come out yet, but you will see when it comes out of here. Then we have our market. Now, just to note that this market token comes with the gold and silk expansion, but if you didn't have this, you just put these items to one side, they become the market. Have your supply of money to one side, Have your player cubes over to one side so they're easy to reach. And you're probably wondering why there's a cat here. Well, that comes with a Golden Silk expansion as well, and he looks very cute. He has no purpose. He just looks very cute on the table, so he's going to be in this video for the duration. Okay, so we are going to set the rage counter at 4, because that's how many players we have got playing. Now, I'm not going to play all 4 of them. I'm just going to kind of give you a general overview of what's happening. But just to note that he is on rage 2 cubes. That will be very relevant to when we get to this stage. Okay, so what is the aim of the game? The aim of the game is for our adventurers to come down through the castle. Somehow they can choose whichever path they want. They can get down into the depths, and they have to try and get one of these hexagonal tokens, which is called an artifact. Now, they're dotted all over the board, and they do have different point values. That's because the higher the point value, the harder it is to get. So, for example, this 30, which is the most expensive one, is behind a locked door, and then behind a monster, and then you have to do that on the way out. So, oh, and there's an ice cave at the end. So that will make more sense in a moment. So what will happen is you need to get in and get out before you either die, or if another player gets out before you, they will start this track up here. This is kind of like the sudden death track. So the first player to get out, you've essentially got 3 turns to get yourself out, and it becomes a big race. It's all lovely when you're going down, but as soon as someone gets an artifact, they're out and it becomes one big race. So how does a turn work? What we need to do is we shuffle our starter cards, and I've dealt 5 cards out here. Now, this isn't the best start in hand because I have 2 Clank. Clank are these cubes here, and this represents how much noise you are making. At the beginning of the game, the first player starts with 3 noise, the second player gets 2, third player gets 1, and the fourth player, if you've got 4, will start with none. But I've added 2 more, and Clank is not a good thing. Now, these are mandatory to play. All these cards you have to play. It's up to you if you spend the blue or use the movement, but you have to do these Clanks. So they're not great to start with. But then over here, what have I got on my other cards? So the blue is how much you have to spend on these cards up here. Now, some of them have got cost in the bottom right hand corner. Some of them got fighting. We'll get to fighting in a mo, but these have costs down here. Also to note, these ones up here also have a cost in the bottom right hand side. So before I do a buy, I can do this yellow symbol, which means I can move. So it's simply I can move along a line. Now, this one is a line that I can do either way, so I can move down and move back out. If it's got an arrow, it's just a one way. If it's got a double foot, that means you need 2 moves to get through it. If it's got a monster on, and you'll notice a lot of these have got monster tokens on, for each one you either need to take a damage willingly, or you need to spend a sword to get through. And then the other type are these ones here with a padlock. Now, you can only go through the padlock ones if you have the key from the market. So yeah, very important movement spaces along there. There's lots to deal with as you get further down into the depths. But that is my movement. I've moved down 1, and I've got my 3 to spend. So I might go ahead and just get one of these mercenaries. Okay, so as you buy a card, any card you buy will go into your discard pile along with the cards you played that round, and then you would deal out the other 5. So the other 3 players will have their turn, and let's say they've moved on and we're just going to move them as we go. It will come back to my turn, and this time is a lot better. I've got 1 movement and I've got 4 to spend, so I'll go ahead and do the movement, and I'll end up going into this room. Now, the very first 2 turns, every player will end up in that room and with at least 2 stumble in their first 2 turns. So that's very samey. But what changes is as soon as we have finished our first 10 cards, and let's just say for 4 I bought, oh, let's just buy the Master Burglar because we can. Right, as soon as that has been bought, we shuffle this whole deck and we get to play through it again. So those 2 cards that I bought are now in that deck. So that pile will get shuffled and redone. So I'll just shuffle that in a mo. It's also worth noting that as soon as this has a gap, you draw another card and you fill it, and you potentially do whatever it says. This one is a danger one, but other than that, it just fills. there will be a symbol that I will point out to you later that will affect the filling of that market. Now what will happen is you will play through that deck over and over as you keep adding to the deck, and eventually your deck will get bigger and bigger and bigger with special abilities that will come from the deck there. Now, in addition to playing cards from hand, you're going to want to grab some stuff on the way. So, for example, some of these spaces have got question marks. Now, the small ones, if you land in one, you get a small token. Some of them will be potions. So, for example, this is a potion of movement. There's potions of attack. There's potions of health as well. But there are also some hidden ones such as this, which have got points on. These are the major secrets, and again there's potions under there. So you want to kind of collect these as you move. As soon as players have ended up moving down the track and they've gone their separate ways, as you can see here, I'm going to sort of make sure they spread out a little bit. You can then decide, if you finish your turn on one of these artifacts, to take it. If you do, it goes in front of you. It annoys the dragon, so the dragon will go up one track there, and eventually the more people that take artifacts, the more annoyed the dragon will get. Now I noticed obviously there is only 4 players and there's more on the track. Now there are 2 other ways for the dragon to get annoyed. There are dragon eggs underneath, and there is also backpacks which allow players to get an extra artifact. So that is why the track goes up all the way up to 5 cubes, even though there's about 7 spaces and only 4 players. So yeah, be aware that the track may, if you find dragon eggs as well, may go up faster the more you find them. So yeah, you get your artifact and now you are eligible to run back out. Now this is where it's very important, because if you've got an artifact and you die in the depths, you get no points. If you've not got an artifact and you're anywhere on the board, then you also get 0 points. However, if you've got your artifact and you manage to get above ground, which is this green line here, you will still get your points for what's in your deck, for your money, and for the other points you'll get on tokens. If you manage to get an artifact and get all the way out, you'll also get a 20 bonus point for, it's a mastery token, so you've done it perfect. Now, as soon as someone gets there, these players will want to hurry to at least get to the surface, if not out as well, because this blue player will then take turns by just doing dragon attacks. Now, I haven't explained dragon attacks. What happens if you get a dragon attack? So in this deck here, there are cards that when you fill up the market will have a dragon symbol. If that dragon symbol happens, you grab all of the Clank in this Clank area, you place it into this bag, you shuffle them up, and you'll draw as many cubes as there are here, plus any danger. So in this example, it will be 3 plus 1 cube, and I'll go ahead and you draw 4 tokens out of the bag. Oh, look at that, there's 3 and 4. Now, if one of them is a player colour, that goes on the track. All the black ones will just stay out of the bag. They can go into this area here. But player colour ones is not good, because this is your health track. So every time one of your cubes comes out of the bag, you take damage. So if you don't get out by getting an artifact and getting out again, then you may die. If you get a cube that goes to here, you are out of the game, and you go up to here and you start the track as well. So yeah, it's a big race. You don't want to die. There are lots of ways to heal. But yeah, you don't want to be getting attacked by that dragon too much, because you could end up with nothing, and especially if you die in the depths, oh, that's bad news. So apart from the dragon to worry about that will be attacking you, you've also got monsters that you will want to get rid of. Now, some of these monsters will have extra abilities. They'll get bonuses for defeating them, but some of them will have ongoing effects that will, well, it won't help the whole party. So to get rid of these, you'll be playing your attacks. So on this mercenary, for example, there are 2 attack. This is where you spend these. You can use attacks to get rid of these monsters, get the ability and get rid of them. Get rid of them out of here, because the more monsters you get rid of, the more potential items and better cards you will get throughout the game. Once all players have either got out, or they've all died, or they've run out of time, all players will end up totaling up their score. So this is generally the things you will get points for. You'll get points for tokens, artifacts, 1 point per money, and you can get points on cards, plus there are points on market items if you bought any of those. But generally, the most points wins. It is possible to get 0 points. I have had a few games where all players have got 0 points. So it's one of those games that really varies every time you play it. But that is the general overview of Clank. And there we go, that was Clank. Now yes, it is one of my favourite games, but that's not the whole reason why you should buy it. Although you should, and you'd be missing out if you didn't buy it. But anyway, that aside, the reason why Clank is one of my favourites is it's such an exhilarating game. The idea of racing into the depths, it's a bit of a point salad. There's lots of ways to get points, but you've got to do it within that time. There is a lot of screw you element in it. I love the deck building, as if you look at my Q&As, you'll notice that deck building is one of my favourite genres out there, so to speak. But no, this game is 2 to 4 players. There is also a solo mode if you download the Renegade Games app. Game time is about 30 minutes to an hour. It's really not a long game. It's easy to pick up, it's easy to teach. Every time I've taught it, I think it's gone down well. I don't actually know anybody that I've taught this game and they don't like. So that goes to show, doesn't it? And not to mention, there are tons and tons of expansions and variants that you can get for this game. Now, I'm not going to go through the variants too much now, because in my future videos I will like to do all the variants that I have for Clank, including the campaign version, the Acquisitions Incorporated. If you guys want to see any of the expansions, maybe you've had a chance to play this game and you want to know more about the expansions, leave a comment below. Let me know and I'll get a video up of that. But in time, there'll be some videos coming, so don't you worry. But hey, I can't sit here and cuddle Clank all night. Yes, I do love this game. I absolutely love it. But it's got to go back on my shelf, because at some point I do need to play one of these other games. In the meantime, please don't forget to follow my Facebook, Instagram and my Twitter pages. Make sure you subscribe. That's really important, because the more subscribers, the more reason for me to do videos. And don't forget to check out my Patreon. The link is in the description below. You can support me for as little as £1 and it will help make these videos, and any support you can give will absolutely help me get some better gear, better recordings and more videos such as the ones that you've seen today. But in the meantime, I will say goodbye and catch you on the next video.